guys, this is Bobby with bobbystamps.blogspot.com. I'm going to tell you straight up, I started this video yesterday, and when I tried to upload it, just the first half of it, I don't know what happened. My camera froze up. So if anything doesn't make sense, if I say something and you're like, oh, she didn't say that earlier, I'm sorry. I'm only going to tape the first half again where it stopped at and then pick up in the middle of it, and I hope that I can edit it and it all works smoothly. But I just wanted to throw that out there in case some of you are watching this and things don't make sense, or if you notice my shirt's a different color today. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So we're gonna make this 3D pineapple card. Stinking cute. I love it. And I did a little play on words, sweet friend, because pineapples are so sweet. So what we're gonna need, you're going to need Emerald Envy. You're going to need crushed curry. We're going to use the crushed curry, the baker's twine. We're going to use the gold wink of Stella. We are going to get our sentiment from the Thoughtful Banners, and it's Sweet Friend right there. And then we're also going to use the banner punch to punch out the sentiments. We're going to use the pineapple from the new catalog. And then for our background, we're going to use the Gorgeous Grunge, and we're going to use that stamp right there. I'm not going to get out any more of the cardstock. This is the Emerald Envy, and it's just the standard 8.5 by 11, cut in half at 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So you guys know that. You need the background is Whisper White, and that's cut at 4 and 5 1/4. You will also need 2 of those. I chose to make my background in the pumpkin or the pineapple the same size because you're going to have to stamp the pineapple, and then we're just going to need the top in order to cut it out to make the 3D effect. So that's kind of what I did here. This is one whole image, and then just the center is what I restamped the top and then cut it out. And I only cut out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces in the middle. You can do whatever you choose, whatever you want to do. So the first thing that we're going to do is we will get our background. And again, it's this image right here. So we'll go ahead and get started. And I think it's time for me to buy a new camera because this is not the first time I've had to literally reshoot an entire video before because it doesn't give me any warning whatsoever that it's froze up. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. So we'll just do that, and you can do it randomly, however you choose to put your color on there. I don't mind if they overlap at all. So you can add more. You know, if you think like we got too much of the green and you want more yellow, just throw a little bit of yellow right there. Okay, so that's it for the background, guys. Now when we go to do the pineapple, it's a little bit tricky, and I'm going to go ahead, because I know I'm going to need it, I'm going to get out my trusty diaper wipes, because on this one you have to ink up the top and the bottom separately. So we're going to do the green, and I'm going to bring it down as close as I can get it. And it doesn't matter too much that you get it on the pineapple. I mean, this far down it does, because you're going to have the twine that's going to go in between the top and the bottom pieces. So if you do get a little bit of bleeding in there, that's going to be okay. So we'll do that. Should have got out 2 probably, because I'll end up getting this all over my hands. Then we're going to take the crushed curry, and you're just going to do the same thing. You're just going to ink it up. And I think I dipped my ink pad in the green. I wasn't being very careful. So you just want to get it up as close to the top as you can, and it helps if you kind of eyeball it like that. Okay, and I'm going to go back in one more time with that. Okay, so then we just stamp this, because we're going to cut it out, is why we're doing it on the white and not doing it directly on the paper that we just did. We will cut it out. So there you go. That did bleed a little bit, you guys, where I didn't clean it off very well, but it's okay. I'm just doing it to show you. It's the second time I've done this video. So just make sure when you guys are doing it, and you're not like me, pressed for time, that you make sure that you do not bleed or get the colors crossing over like I did. See how the green kind of came through, and you might like that. It might be okay. The baker's twine is going to hide a little bit of it, but not too much of it. So I'm not going to worry about it, because like I said, I'm just doing it to give you guys the idea of how I did it. So now we're going to bring in just a scrap piece of paper, and we're going to go in again with the green. And this time it doesn't really matter if you get it on the pineapple, because we're only going for the top. So we're just going to stamp it. Now what we're going to do here is we're just going to cut, this out. So see, even where I got a little bit of that on that paper, doesn't matter, because we're not even going to use it. So you just fussy cut around each leaf or stem. Not quite sure what those are called. So this is what I did. I went all the way around and cut that out. And then after I get this all cut out, I'll go back in and individually cut out those pieces. And I only used the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on mine. Like the center, the bigger pieces is what I used to put mine together. I'm going to stop the video here because I believe this is where it froze up the last time and where I left off. So we should be good to go on the remainder of the video. And again, just make sure when you guys are stamping that you make sure you don't have any on the pineapple. The baker's twine will cover up a little bit of that, but I don't think it would cover up as much as far down as what I want. So you just want to be careful about that. And if this was my first time doing it, I would stop and restamp it, but it's not, so I'm just going to move on. So wish me luck, guys, on editing. Okay, guys, so I have it all cut out, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do is, of course, this one's going to be covered up because it's messed up. So you can cut and then just lay the piece kind of offset where it goes, so that way it doesn't get lost on your table. And I only did the inside pieces. Like, I didn't do the whole thing. I did these, and then this one, this, and this one. So this is basically what I did. I just kind of went around, made sure I got the white and only the green. And then, like I said, you can just lay them where they go. That's not one that I used, though. I used this, the bigger pieces towards the center are the ones that I used. Because I just wanted a little bit of the 3D effect, and doing it on the inside seemed to accomplish that for me. So I'm just gonna, and you know, we'll fix it and make it match up really nicely when we get ready to use the adhesive and put them down where they go. So what are you guys thinking about the new catalog? I should get my order in tomorrow, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. I ordered the mason jars and the country living, the one with the truck and the guitar in the boots, and I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get my hands on both of those. And the little fox. I love the little fox as well. I'm going to go ahead and pause again, guys, just so the video is not taking forever while I cut these out. You all know how to fussy cut. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got all my pieces laid right on top where they go. So this is one good reason why you don't ever throw the side pieces of your dimensionals away, because for activities like this where you can't use a whole dimensional, these are perfect for that, to pop something up like that. They're kind of harder to work with, because for me anyway, because they're tinier and my eyes aren't what they used to be. But that one's not going to stick, so we'll move on to this piece, and I'm going to save it for a different one because it's just too big. So I just usually run my scissors along the edge like this and just snip. Just snip. And then I'm actually going to even cut some of these in half because you don't need that big of a piece. And then I'm not going to adhere anything down until I have everything popped up so I can look at it and make sure that I do indeed have everything exactly where I want them. And I only cut out 5 for the 3D. And like I said, it was the starting with this one right here. I didn't do the 2 bottoms. I just did like the 5 bigger ones that are in the center are the ones and you can do whichever ones you want to do. If you want to do every single one of them, that is fine. And I did forget to mention to you guys that we're going to use Wink of Stella in the gold, and that's how I did the trim around my around the pineapple. I always forget, it seems like every single time, to mention one item. And then we're also using the baker's twine, the crushed curry, to go around the top. So I forgot 2 things. It happens, right? Okay. So once you have this laid down, and as I can see, this one right here, I didn't do a very good job fussy cutting the white off. So I'm just going to go back in. This one I've got just a little piece right there that I don't want to show. And other than that, everything looks good. And it's really, you know, for me, it's just easier to just keep everything like I'm doing right there, exactly where it goes, so it doesn't get shuffled and moved around. And as you guys can see where I got the green, that's going to be hid with the baker's twine, so we don't even have to worry about that. And then you just lay your piece right on top of the stamped image that we already stamped. And it's okay if you don't do it perfect, because that's going to help with the 3D effect. You want a little bit of the background to show through. That's what's going to make it look like. See, like this one right here is trimmed just a little bit thinner, so it's going to help with the 3D effect. Okay. And then we're just going to lay this one right there. And then can you guys see how cool that looks? The 3D effect on it. And like I said, if you want to fussy cut all the way around it, go right ahead. That's perfectly fine. We're going to give our, and this one is the gold, guys. So what I did with this is I just went through and lightly, and I just chose to do like the V motion. You could go all the way down. You could do however you want to do it, but I just kind of went this direction with it. And then I just did every piece that was white showing through. Okay, and again, guys, I'm going to pause for the sake of time, so you don't have to sit here and watch me do every one of these, because I know you're all smart enough to figure out what I'm doing. I'm going to pause the video again. Okay guys, got all of that done. I did forget to mention too, you do need 2 pieces of the Whisper White that's cut 4 and 5 1/4, because we do cut this piece out. I totally forgot. So here's my second piece that we're going to do the use our grunge on. So we'll just cut this out really quick. And I'm going to pause again while I do this part. Okay guys, we have it all cut out. And this is the best time now to do the wrap the baker's twine. I can find my end piece. I don't think that's it. And it doesn't take that much. And I kind of did it in the middle, and then I just kind of wrapped this one, and then I wrapped this one, and then you can go around it however many times you choose. Just leave enough. That'll probably be the last time for that one. I think that's good. And I just tied it in a knot. You could tie it in a bow, however you choose to tie it. Get my fingers to work. Okay. I want to snip it off to make sure it's kind of even. And then you can take your scissors if you choose, and be very careful if you do this because they're sharp, to kind of just give it a little bit of a curl. Now we're going to take our crushed curry and our Emerald Envy, and we're going to just ink it up. And I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper just to make sure I don't get it on my table. And you just kind of do whatever makes you happy. Then we're going to go in with the crushed curry. And I don't care if my colors overlap. So just do at random spots. There you go. Okay, now we're done with the crushed curry. I have found for my using the banner punch, I think it's just easier for me if I punch out my sentiment. Let me grab my piece of Emerald Envy. And we're going to punch out the bigger piece first, so we only need this back one. And you're going to get a little piece of the other one, and that's fine. We don't care. Okay, I gotta clean as I go. I need to stop doing that. It takes up so much time. Okay, let's see if we can get a piece out of this. So I always, if I'm going to use a piece of scrap, I just want to make sure that I'm going to get it all to fit. And so our sentiment's going to be punched on the second one. So let's just punch that out. Get rid of our scrap pieces. So I've already got it mounted up. Stamp it in the Emerald Envy. Get it as centered as you possibly can get it. Sometimes that's not easy. Got ink on my finger. That looks good to me. I like to use Tombow glue when I have to put something down and I want it to be pretty centered and I have time to move it, this gives me the time to move it around. If you wanted to pop this part up with dimensionals, perfectly fine. But I just chose because I wanted symmetry over popping it up to do it. And see what I mean? I can move that around even for a few seconds afterwards. So now we're going to grab our bone folder that has glue stuck on it. Let's get all of this out of the way. Close up our ink before that's an accident waiting to happen. So we will give this a nice crisp fold. And then we will use our snail. And then we'll just pop that on there, getting it as centered as we possibly can. Now for the pineapple, I did choose to use dimensionals. And you can use however many you choose. My allergies are so bad today. And then I also used dimensionals on the sentiment too, because I wanted it popped up. This is kind of like my 3D pineapple card. So we'll just put that right there in the center. Flip over, and this is where I'm going to go back to my side pieces again. It'd probably be okay to use a full dimensional, but why not use these pieces up, right? And I'm using 3 of them. And then I just put it towards the bottom, not quite centered. And there you have it, guys. Cute 3D pineapple card. And then you could also go in with the Wink of Stella on the gold. I thought about doing the outline of the pineapple, the stems, but chose not to do that. But there you go, guys. And make sure that you visit my blog. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. My online class for Swirly Bird ends this Friday at midnight. Thank you everybody that has signed up. The order, I should get it tomorrow. I'm hoping to get everything packaged up and get it to the post office on Thursday. Hopefully you guys will have it maybe Saturday, but for sure you should have it by Monday. Thanks guys for stopping by. God bless.